what it is. Every revolution or every political movement or any kind of change, and having someone, okay, CIA, which is fucking for you to call me CIA when you know I'm not.
Everything was politicized. It was, oh, this is when we became the left versus the right. But both sides are trash. In COVID,
his own thing. So it seems to be that money's the issue, that like we're using money and that's how politics is being pushed. Because now we've seen what someone does when they use their own money, and it doesn't seem to be a solution. So I feel like we take money out of politics, we'll have a much better political system.
Politician, you think they're gonna come out and tell me the truth? They was lying to my mama. They ain't gonna never tell us.
So everybody, we look at certain things just because, oh, this happens in the hood or we see this every day. All the way up. These people were speaking truth. King, we could talk X, we could talk it all. They were speaking truth.
What's going on in anyone's mind, but let's take it as a given that Gray's argument is true, that the argument to not have ID is that it would be discriminatory versus certain socioeconomic brackets or something. It's like
the world's greatest trial run of what people will do and what people won't do. And we are the only country on the planet that really fought against the government. A lot of it,
because you focus on 80-20 issues. I'm looking at the Epstein issue as we have 80% of the information we need to prosecute these people that actually did anything, but you're focusing on the 20% trying to take down Donald Trump, which you're never going to get. So I'm going to keep sitting here with a smug-ass face on every single day.
I'll explain. Good question. I'll give you the answer. The Republican Party constantly talks about transgenders and transgender surgery to minors.
I'm mostly on the left, ideologically, but I don't associate with the Democrats because they're not ideologically on the left. The Democrats are clowns, and they're also losers.
About to be any engaging conversation. It's not about to be any discourse about different political ideologies, what works and what doesn't. If that is the outcome, right? For example, I'm not going to go and just put myself in the middle of a KKK rally.
Verify me. I'm not a fucking fed. They always do this. I'll say this, right? And they did the same thing to Nick. We've seen the video. They'll call people who are genuine and authentic feds. Because
the interesting thing to me is that the ones that claim that they believe the Constitution are now trampling the Constitution. The ones that said they believed in the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, right, are now going against the freedom of speech.
leadership perspective.
They don't have no plan. They don't ever talk about nothing positive about the Democrat Party. Everything is just anti-Trump. They're not willing to have a conversation. They call us fascists. We're willing to have a conversation. Charlie Kirk's willing to have a conversation.
Perspective of a grieving widow, a mom, and a battle-tested American. Good to see you again today. Talk to me about this part of the conspiracies that are out there, this disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Can my children have one thing? Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular, and it will have basically museum style for our Charlie, for my Charlie. But can I have one thing? Can my babies have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying? One thing. This is my husband. Yes, he was Charlie Kirk to the world, and I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that. But this is my husband, and I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
What are they taking from you right now?
Nothing. But I will tell you what they are doing. It reminds me so much of chapter 6 in the book of Nehemiah. He is building a wall, and the townspeople are at the base of that hill saying, Nehemiah, calling him all these names, saying all these things, come on down. Every single time he had the same message 4 times in a row. I cannot come down. I am busy building. That is how I feel. I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the hand-picked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it. We are busy building. And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We are all grieving in our own way. And they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil. They are trying so hard. And I get that. We're doing the same. Anytime we hear a lead or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode, going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
You know, I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus. Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do. We have a hell of a team working on this. Excuse my French. But this is not okay.
So you want to put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from?
I don't care what box you're in. But just know that your words are very powerful, and we are human. My team are not machines, and they're not robots. They are human. We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats. You name it, we have it. And my poor team is exhausted. And every time they bring this back up, what are we supposed to do? Relive that trauma all over again? They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I would have reacted if I was there that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core. So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed, hyper-analyzed?
You know, the conspiracies that are out there, all of the like, do you think that there is more of it now because you do shine your light? I mean, did people just expect you would just go away?
I don't know what they expected. I don't know what they expected.
They pick on you because of your accessories. I mean, I've seen some of it.
Oh, yeah. No, at this point, it's what? The conspiracy collection. Get it before Christmas. Like, seriously. Wow. If you want to find and pick me apart, go right ahead. I do not care. I don't. This was happening before Charlie was murdered. Both of us have been through the ringer of people will call you whatever they want to call you.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Greg Mars.
I'm Kamal.
I'm 85 Slim.
I'm Enzo.
I'm Kim. I had to exit and come back in. Hello.
So as you can see, Charlie Kirk's widow was very upset with what people are saying about her husband. Enzo, you got a lot of fans that are chatting. You were a big fan of Charlie Kirk. What do you think about what she said?
About what Erika said?
Yeah.
I think it's completely on point with what's been going on with Candace, with Nick, with all these people that have been running around trying to spew whatever narrative that they want to put out there. I think it's disgusting what Candace is doing. I think it's disgusting that Erika has to come out here and say, stop all of this. Like, people are going to get hurt. It's not just you taking down Erika or trying to do whatever she's doing with Erika. People, unfortunately, are going to get hurt behind this. Like, and it's just cut the game. Like, Candace has come out with, I think I counted last night on live, like 6 different conspiracies on what has happened. And she said, the only 2 people that are going to stop me when this all started was her husband and Erika. Erika said multiple times to cut the shit, and she still has it. So now Erika is doing a tour pretty much and running around saying like, this needs to end. So I don't blame her. She's fed up at this point.
Kamal, is Candace wrong for doing this to her friend's wife, and he's passed away?
Is she wrong? I don't know, but I've been telling y'all she's a fucking grifter. I've been saying this from the longest, y'all. It's just another grift, you feel me? I'm just more concerned about somebody put in the chat. Can you pull that up, Candyman7921? This is a wild accusation right here. You can pull that up, Gray? That comment? Can you pull up that comment that Berber said?
What do you say?
I kind of want y'all thoughts. Can you pull up the comment that Candyman792, Candyman7921? Yo, this shit is wild. I want to know y'all thoughts on this shit.
That's bullshit.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, if anything, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I think Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk was having a special relationship, to be honest. I'm going to keep saying it. That's what I think. And that's why I think Candace Owens is on this shit. That's how I feel about it.
So I'm going to play what Candace said as a response, and I get Slim and Kimberly to respond.
Wasn't sure about Erika. I was waiting kind of a situation for her to be in, obviously having lost her husband, becoming the CEO and the chairman of a company. It's just a lot of transition, and it's nice to wait for more information before you prejudge or just assume, make an assumption about somebody, and it maybe is not based in reality. Well, we are getting a lot more of Erika Kirk this week. I'll tell you that, because she has been doing the rounds in the media really over the last couple of weeks. And she just gave an interview live with Harris Faulkner on Fox News, where she finally addressed the quote unquote conspiracy theories. And I have to say this because it's true, but it completely missed the mark for me. I am sorry. It just has. But the good news is that she is now unmurkying the water in terms of her intentions with this massive political organization. That's good news, truly, because we knew Charlie, and now we are getting an opportunity to know Erika. Plus, later on in the show, it's Knives Out for Tucker Carlson. As always, he's trending right now because he has officially waded into the who killed Charlie Kirk narrative. And since he is not a bought and paid for Fed, he is siding with not just the American people worldwide. And he says that he's not buying the official narrative. And there are some lingering questions. And he confirms what I told you about the Egyptian planes. So let's jump right back into this.
Slim, is Candace crossing the line?
No, not at all. Again, it's her friend. She has a lot of questions. A lot of things don't seem right. even with that interview with Erika, she mentioned that they still searching for leads, and any lead they get, if the investigation was that solid, why would she mention that? So these are the things that I have questions with too. The world is attacking her because she just won't stop. At the end of the day, I don't blame her, man. That was fun. Period.
So Candace is known for keeping the receipts. So I'm gonna play this before you respond, Kimberly, because that's what everybody who believes in Candace says. She has the receipts. She has the information.
Israel bullying him, and I am now going to present you proof of what I am saying. This is an actual group chat, which happened 2 days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. There were 9 people in total on this chat, including Charlie and Rob McCoy. I'm going to protect the names of the other 7 for now. To be clear, I might actually release a name every day this week, but I want to show you this because suffice it to say, Rob McCoy was on this text thread, and I think it helps contextualize him as a person, in my view, that he would attack me for telling the truth about the pressure that he was facing. Take a look. So Charlie writes in this group chat, just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Somebody writes, oh. Charlie writes, Jewish donors play into all of the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. Then somebody writes, a donor writes, please do not invite Candace. That might feel good short term, but it's not good long term. In my opinion, like all groups, you're going to get a wide variety of opinions. That nasty free will thing that God bestowed on us makes life frustrating at times after the dust settles a bit, maybe. So again, this is 48 hours before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He was very clear and he was very explicit, and he did not back down, not in that Hamptons meeting, which they're all lying about, nor in this text thread. I'm not going to reveal the names of the other 7. Actually, you know what? I disagree with myself 4 seconds ago. Let's just throw in Josh Hammer for funsies. He's on this chat, okay? So what are we to make of that? Okay, now that I'm showing you this and showing to you that the conversations were real, I want you to reflect, and it took me a lot of patience to allow the lies that were being woven and the misrepresentations of people that were pretending that I was just, high on lying about Charlie and the pressure he was under, the attacks that not just me, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly faced for trying to stand up and tell the truth about what Charlie was actually going through. Why are you hearing it, though, from me and Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly? Isn't that weird? You got people that are hosting a show. Have they, in like one honorable thing, come out and said, like, you know what? F a couple of these donors who made his life a living hell in the last couple of weeks. Why haven't they done that? There's also a rabbi in that chat. Like, why hasn't anybody made that move to at least say, to vindicate what I have been saying about what he was going through? That registers to me as very suspicious. I'm going to frankly say that it's suspicious to me. It makes me think that in the same way that Charlie was being pressured by money, that you might be now run by that same money, that those same donors might be running you.
Kimberly, I believe what Candace is insinuating is that Israel has something to do with this. And that's kind of like what she's been pushing this whole time. Do you feel like Candace has credibility on what she's speaking on?
I don't think there's enough to prove that it is Israel, or whatever Jewish donor it is right there. I do want to emphasize that separate, Jewish people and even the state of Israel from rich donors and the donor class. There are a lot of rich donors in donor class. I think she's correct in that it is suspicious that at least Turning Point USA hasn't spoken on in regards to these specific things. Now, I'm not a Candace Owens fan. I'm not a Tucker Carlson fan. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. I am deeply empathetic, and I am going to say it's not just Candace. If you go online, it's really hard unless you're like emotionally invested. Just from an outsider, I'm not on the left or the right. I'm sorry, I'm on the left, but I'm not a Democrat or Republican. As an outsider, I just want to say it is a little bit hard to empathize with Erika Kirk, especially in that interview that she just had right there. she comes off as very well scripted. Whereas, again, not a fan of Candace, she comes off as more intriguing because she is, or at least has a cause. And she does prove a few points here and there. Back to the Israel thing. I don't think there's enough to prove that it is Israel. It is suspicious and it should be questioned. There's nothing wrong with questioning the circumstances of the death of Charlie Kirk, just again, as an outsider. When that happened, I was driving, and a lot of my friends, because they're not like politically aware, they called me and they were like, "Who's Charlie Kirk?" I was like, "Oh, it's some commentator, Turning Point USA. He just got shot in the neck." I was like, "Whoa." So it was really impactful. That's why now, in response, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. So everyone's giving their opinion left and right. It's easy to get lost because there's so much information, so much lack of other information. So it's easy to get lost in all of that. But just objectively speaking, Candace Owens and some of the people just simply making some connections here and there, because I did watch her episode, that one that you just aired before. She, like I said, a broken clock is right twice a day. There are some things that are suspicious that should be questioned. And there are, again, everybody grieves differently, but it's just really hard as an outsider to empathize with Erika Kirk. She seems very well scripted and very opportunistic with regards to the death of Charlie Kirk.
When it happened, I was in Home Depot and I was supposed to be doing the show where I was redoing my floors. But yeah, when crazy incidents happen, you always remember where you were. But before we go into more conspiracy theories, I want to actually play what the FBI Director Kash Patel had to say about this case.
Let me start with this, the most obvious. Do you believe that we have the proper suspect in custody? Do you believe that Tyler Robinson is, in fact, the man who killed Charlie Kirk?
Yes.
Do you believe he acted with the help of anyone else?
This investigation is being led by the Utah state authorities because it is a murder investigation. So the FBI is a supporting role in the investigative process. And so what we're doing is the same thing we did in the pipe bomb investigation. The investigation is ongoing for us. If there's any new leads or tips, we are exhausting them with search warrants and legal process. But at the same time, we are working with the prosecutors in Utah to make sure we don't screw up their investigation. Because again, the worst outcome would be if the guy that killed Charlie Kirk walks out of a United States courtroom in the state of Utah. And so it's a delicate balance again, but there is no way this FBI is going to stop that investigation until it reaches its all-conclusive endpoint.
Do you believe any foreign government had a role in his assassination?
At this time, the FBI doesn't have credible information to connect any foreign governments to it. But as I said, we are continuing to take investigative leads. We're not done. Just because we arrest someone, just like in the pipe bomber case, we don't just say, okay, we're done, on to the next. The investigative team continues to work with the Utah authorities, and they're deriving their own leads and coming back to us and say, hey, can you look at this piece of information? Can we get a search warrant on this account? What about this individual who is located in X, Y, or Z? We're tracking all that down.
Do you have any credible reason to believe that anyone connected with the Turning Point organization had anything to do with Charlie's death?
Zero.
On the subject, there's been an allegation made by prominent podcaster Candace Owens that she's received a death threat, a credible death threat from the French, that a threat has been made on her life, and that the French, she's been told, also may have had a role in Charlie's assassination. Have you looked into either of those? Do you believe she's received a credible death threat from the French, or that the French had something potentially to do with Charlie's death?
Any American that receives a death threat from overseas or anywhere in America is going to be fully investigated. So we're not going to turn our eye away from that investigation or any others. If there's anything to it, this FBI will respond to it.
Okay, but so far, no.
So we are just looking at everything that comes in. We're not going to reject any piece of information. If someone feels that their life is being threatened, we are, of course, looking at it.
I can verify that myself, because we've received some very dark things here at our show, and you guys have always been very responsive in looking hard at the people who send them. Can I ask you, Kash, the text messages between Tyler Robinson and his roommate Lance Twiggs, the reason a lot of people think Tyler didn't do it is because they sound kind of fake. You know, the wording just sounds a little strange. Like, I thought they caught the person, you know, or no, you weren't the one who did it, right? I am. I'm sorry. They go on from there. Why did I do it? Yeah, I had enough of his hatred, and so on. Do you have any reason to believe that that text exchange was not real between them for whatever reason, potentially even having been orchestrated between the two of them?
Look, I understand the emotion behind this case. Charlie was my friend. He was your friend. He was assassinated in the most brutal way in a public forum where he was trying to have engagement with the youth of the United States of America. And while I was representing the White House at Ground Zero in New York City on 9/11, we made the decision to pivot immediately and fly out to Utah to make sure we executed this manhunt. We went out there, the FBI seized the video evidence and put it out to the public immediately. And then this individual was caught in 33 hours. And so I understand that there's so much charged emotion on the other evidence that was collected, the notes that you were talking about, the text message, excuse me. And we present that information to the prosecutors to make the determination based on the evidence we have as to whether or not they were real. I can't stylize or comment on it because it's an ongoing investigation, but I don't believe the prosecutors in the state of Utah would be using any piece of information or evidence that was not credible.
Last but not least on Charlie, there were texts by certain trans individuals online before the assassination talking about something big is going to be happening, and then after he was killed saying, and there it is, leading many of us to wonder whether there was some sort of trans-Tifa connection to the murder, or at least maybe some tip-off to the community. Is that under investigation?
That is most definitely under investigation, and we've disclosed a lot of that to the prosecution, or all of it that we have, and they've made some of it public to include that he was in a relationship with an individual who was part of that community, and that he was engaged in communications with other individuals in that community. But as to how they relate to the prosecution, that's up to the Utah prosecutors to say, we need this in court.
Slim, can we trust the FBI director?
Oh man, it looks like Cash was following the script. At the end of the day, I don't think he's willing to disclose any information that he does have to a higher extent. The way he was looking was real. Like, I don't know. He was real stuck up the ass. But can we trust him? I've always had a lot of respect for Cash, and I think that he is doing the right thing. Now, as far as withholding information to the public, I think he's doing that as well.
Right. So Candace has had quite a few people she accused. I think you guys will be surprised at the person she accused in this video.
To just take a breather and really process everything that happened with Charlie and what it kind of means in terms of where we are. And I think it is a circumstance where we just know. We just know that he was truly betrayed in one of the most egregious ways that I think I've ever seen. It has made me lose faith in politics. It has made me fully lose faith in Trump. And my heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics. And they just were like, nope, that is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. Bro, if they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean? Like, oh, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock off. Like, they're going to give Charlie Kirk a boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave him freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you. Okay, there's no question. They killed you. There's no way. That's like their signature thing. It's like that's what they do. It's the Fed signature. It's how they sign off after they murder you. So like holiday and a boulevard. And it's never on a nice side of town either. Like Charlie Kirk Boulevard is not going to be a nice side of town. Anyways, I will be back on the 27th, you guys.
Enzo, you had the MAGA hat on. It sounds like she was accusing Trump. How do you feel about what she said?
I personally think Candace Owens is a waste of space that is a bitter, sorry for a lack of words, bitter bitch that couldn't get Charlie and was pissed off that Erika got her, and is going to make up every excuse on who could have killed him, why they killed him, when they killed him. It is. Well, I'm just waiting for Candace to say, "Oh no, he's not actually dead. He's a clone, and he's hanging out with Biggie and Tupac in Cuba at this point." That's the only thing we're missing at this point. Yeah, like I've been following this from the beginning, and I've been calling her out every which way to Sunday because nothing she says makes any sense at all. Like we can have our skepticisms about it. Tyler Robinson acted alone, this, that, the third, all day, every way, which is Sunday. I don't think the government has anything to do with it because the only government assassinations that I can think of, the real killers got away, and who they said did it ended up dead right after. Most notoriously JFK and Jack Ruby and Lee Harvey Oswald. Has Tyler Robinson gone missing? No. He's sitting in a courtroom today. I don't think the government had anything to do with it. And I think this is just another ploy from Candace to call out the Republican Party and blame Israel for something at this point. That's literally what this is. That's all I've seen from the beginning.
I don't know, but what about the Boulevard thing, man? That don't plague your mind a little bit?
A lot of people like him. A lot of people are going to dedicate memorials to him, streets to him. That there's not just one Charlie Kirk Boulevard. I've seen a few pop up.
Do you know who the rapper Fred the Godson is?
I know Fred. I know Fred personally before he died, but yeah.
Okay. Do you know who he is, Kamal? Kamal,
I know who he is.
I don't think Kim know who he is. Now, Gray, let me ask you this. Do you know that he has a Fred the Godson Boulevard in the Bronx now?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Do you know that there were allegations of the government unaliving him?
No, I didn't.
Exactly. That's why it's like dawning on me.
Wow.
Yeah. Look that up when you can.
I definitely will. So
I'll look into it.
Yeah, and the fact that you guys don't know about who he is really, really powerful.
Well, he was a double XL freshman at one point.
No, yeah, I know you know who he is,
Yeah,
but my point is for him to get a boulevard,
yeah,
and nobody else knows who he is. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
sure.
That's it.
So Candace has a feud with Turning Point. Charlie Kirk founded Turning Point. This is her talking about it.
You know, they're angry at people who are investigating Charlie's death and catching them in lies. That's why she's mad. She's mad because she lied about me on her podcast and I called it out. Okay. If you don't lie on me, I won't have to call it out. If you don't tell lies about things that took place, about things that were happening at Turning Point USA, at the reason why Charlie wanted a Doge as she did. Oh, we do this no, you don't do a Doge every year. You want to know how I know that? Because Doge didn't exist before Elon Musk. So it's like, what are you saying? They want us to pretend we're really dumb. And it's emotionally manipulative for them to be like, that's how you honor Charlie. Pretend to be an idiot. Pretend to not know how accounts work. Pretend to not know what it means when we say certain things and then change our stories multiple times. Pretend like it's just beyond the pale that Candace would suggest that we're engaging in a cover-up. Yes, I did say that. I didn't say that Mikey murdered Charlie Kirk. I said Turning Point is engaged in a cover-up because that is literally the only reason that people lie.
Okay, Kamal, you're saying she's a bitter lover, but Candace was a pivotal part of building Turning Point. She was the person that created Black City. She was really I actually knew who Candace was before I knew who Charlie Kirk was. So why would she want to destroy something that she helped build?
I mean, this shit gonna make me sound red pill misogynistic, but there's plenty of times women destroy shit that they build when they get angry. I'm just, come on. Let's not act dumb. I sounded hell red pill right there, but damn it, I had to say it. You know what I mean? I put it like this though. I don't know if it was foreign government interference with that, but I think Tyler Robinson did have some help. How the fuck do you dismantle a sniper like that so fast and get away? It's hard for me to believe that. So I think he done had some help, but from who, I don't know.
I feel you on that. So I'm gonna play all the lies that Candace is basically trying to say that Turning Point is putting out there. So I can
to lie. No, that's ridiculous. We will not be following that. Here's our list, and this is by no means definitive, okay? So getting this together briefly, they told us these lies. The amazing, heroic, magnificent Mikey McCoy had blood all over him. That's a lie, told by Pastor Rob McCoy. Charlie was a committed evangelical who only liked Catholic architecture. That's a lie, told and reinforced by Alex Clark and Andrew Colvett. Lie number 3 is that Charlie's neck stopped a 30-06 bullet because Charlie ate salad, he had strong bones, it was a modern-day Christian miracle. That's a lie. The offender is Andrew Colvett. Another lie, Charlie never blinked in his support for Israel. Offender Josh Hammer, Bibi Netanyahu, insert Zionist here, many Zionist, Christian Zionist influencers as well. That turned out to be a big lie, an unnecessary lie. Lie number 5, the magnificent Mikey McCoy called his dad first. That's a lie. Rob McCoy told that lie. Number 6 is Terrell, the AV guy, was told to remove the cameras by police. That's not true. I have every second of his moves. That offender would be Tyler Boyer, okay? He lied. Number 7, Terrell moved the SD cards because people were stealing hats. Question mark, Andrew Colvett, what if you were scared about people stealing? Maybe remove the cameras? Very expensive cameras would be the thing that they would steal. What are they going to do with your SD card? They're going to resell that? Like, that doesn't make sense. Those are pretty cheap, right? Lie number 8, Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk never had any bad blood between them. The offender there was Alex Clark. Ben Shapiro was on her show, and I don't know why she tried that little bit of propaganda when she knew that wasn't factually true. 9, Charlie established Doge, and that wasn't unusual. Turning Point financially audits the company every year since its inception. Lie. Doge was entirely different from the apparatus of financially auditing yourself, which is recommended and actually in some states required for a company that size. That's 501c3. And 10, like I said, this is by no means a definitive list. Mikey McCoy was a hero that day. Now, you could say that's subjective, but I feel like that, like, objectively, to be a hero, you can't just make quick phone calls. I don't know. I not include 911 in that list. So I'm going to put that on our list of lies.
Kimberly, is that the smoking gun? Or does all the lies mean that this is all a conspiracy with Turning Point?
I think it is suspicious, but where do those all, like, dots, where do they lead? You know? Like, I want to know. I'm also in agreement. I don't think that the the shooter, I don't know if I'm not allowed to say that word, acted alone. I don't think he did either. And outside of that, there's some things in there that she didn't include, like the what's it called when you undo the weapon? What is that called?
Dismantle.
Dismantle the weapon so quickly, and a few other things here and there. The reason why some of the footage disappeared, the angle that it was shot at. It's all a little suspicious. Now, I don't have enough information to come to a conclusion. I think Candace is a little unhinged, especially in the video that you showed previously where she's going like this. I can see that it's getting to her. I feel bad for her. But I think she's onto something. I don't know where that will lead. And I do think that Turning Point USA and namely Erika Kirk are not helping themselves. In the video, I've never seen so much Candace Owens in one day than I did today. But in that video of that episode, she, I think, respectfully, correctly points out how Erika Kirk literally had somebody record her over the casket, like over the hand of Charlie Kirk. That did not sit well with me. I've grieved my father, and I was criticized for not posting enough about him passing away. So I can see how it's easy to criticize people. But it just again,
the beauty of not having any loyalty to either political cult, political party, is that I can see it from the outside. And objectively, Erika Kirk is not helping herself. She doesn't come off as sincere from people just looking on the outside. And I'm not a crazy Democrat either.
Well, just so you guys know, we are taking a poll of who people believe, Erika Kirk or Candace Owens. I'll get the results at the end of the show. So we are doing a poll. But I want to show Turning Point's response. It's kind of a long video, so I won't play the whole thing, but this is their response to Candace.
Wanted to use this segment at the top of this hour to say something important, something very important. For the past 2.5 months, there is a topic that has flooded our Freedom inbox. It has been nonstop on social media, but which we have almost totally avoided on this show. You probably already know what I'm talking about, which shows just how ubiquitous it has been. Ever since Charlie's murder, Candace Owens has leveled a flood of allegations against people at Turning Point USA, people at Turning Point Action, and people who work for this show. She's made them against some of Charlie's closest friends and against some of his most dedicated employees. She has suggested that Michael McCoy, Charlie's chief of staff, knew Charlie would be murdered, was happy that he died, and stayed silent because he was told he would be the next Charlie. She has suggested Michael is not his real name. It is. I have seen his birth certificate myself. She has called it suspicious that Mikey's wife, who works at Turning Point, helped plan the campus tour event where Charlie was murdered, which she didn't, by the way. She doesn't work on campus events. Candace has suggested the Utah Valley University event was unusual and its details suggested a, quote, inside job. She has claimed that foreign aircraft have followed Erika Kirk around the country and that Turning Point has lied about this happening. She has accused us of lying about Charlie wanting Erika to take over for him if he died. She has suggested Charlie's security team intentionally denied him first aid after the shooting to ensure that he died. She has raised suspicions about the head of our technical team because he took an SD card out of a camera. She has spread absurd claims that Tyler Boyer, who we just had on the show, sexually abuses male interns. She has suggested that TPUSA faith-affiliated pastors, like theologian Frank Turek, who we'll have on in a moment, and Pastor Rob McCoy, are part of a military, quote, infiltration of Turning Point, either because they are veterans or because they have family members who are. Even if not everyone has been named specifically, though, Candace has effectively tarred everyone here with complicity in Charlie's death by repeatedly saying he was, quote, betrayed by, quote, everyone. She has said Charlie's murder, quote, had to be approved by Charlie's friends, and then suggested those friends might have her murdered too for, quote, knowing the truth. She has made claims of financial impropriety and fraud at Turning Point, adding up into the millions of dollars, which, again, is not true. Charlie made sure the organization was audited by a third party every year. He personally reviewed and he signed off on every expense report, and literally every single bill paid by the...
He just continues to go piece by piece and basically says that she's lying about everything. Right now, the poll is 75% Team Candace, 25% Erika Kirk. Kamal, I think you were saying something, but you're muted. Do you feel like Turning Point's response? Go ahead.
What I was saying, I knew the poll was going to be more for Candace than for Erika Kirk. I could have told you that before you even got the results. I'm seeing in the chat right now, they Team Candace all the way.
You need some head scans.
So what's your response to what Turning Point said?
But they just trying to defend themselves, to be honest. I will say, I don't think Candace Owens is lying about all that shit. But the one thing that stood out to me, I'm like, damn, I don't know if you should have said that when she said it was a Tyler Boy was sexually assaulting male interns. I'm like, all right, Candace, that seemed kind of like far-fetched. You feel me? And I don't know, it's just certain things when certain things are said, you be starting to think like, all right, now you might be bullshitting, because that just sounds something like, it just sounds like some old, like, to get some clicks and type of views type of shit to say some shit like that. That's how.
I'm gonna play her response to what they said.
How am I supposed to see this? The live stream we announced on the show Wednesday has been set. That would imply to the audiences that they reached out to me and we set a time. No, he goes on at 4 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. local time on Monday, December 15th. A collection of Charlie's friends will respond to statements made by Candace Owens to set the record straight once and for all prior to the opening of America Fest. Now, if it's going to be once and for all, it sounds pretty final. I mean, I would assume that I would have to contribute so that I could answer back, right? He goes on to write, we'll be live streaming, as he said from the beginning. This is going to be a live streamed event from Charlie's Phoenix studio. Our offer from yesterday holds. If Candace wishes to join us in person in Phoenix, she is welcome to do so. She can let us know by the end of today. Why? Well, I'm sorry. If you're saying this is happening on the 15th, why am I getting 24 hours to be able to respond to you? That doesn't make any sense. That, for some reason, feels like this is a BS offer and a really cheap PR move. There's no reason to issue a 24-hour response and to put this up in the middle of the night, A. B, there's no reason you didn't reach out to me and say, hey, does this work? Can I check some flights, see if I can get in there? Nope. This is it. They put this up there on the 15th. The last week of our show is live. Obviously, leading up to Christmas, that's the last week of our show. Obviously, it's a pretty busy week. So I'm like, okay, caught off guard by this, but you know what? I sense this is a PR move. So let me say, you've already said it's live streamed. If an event is live streamed, of course, we can make it work any place. I mean, at any time, any day, we can make this happen, right? Because you're live streaming it. There's no reason I can't show up electronically, okay? I respond to him and I say this, kind of weird how you didn't email or call me to ask about times or availability and instead chose to tweet this confirmation out at midnight. Why am I learning about this on X? December 15th does not work in person, and 2 p.m. happens to also be the literal time that I do my podcast live every day, which you knew, but we will happily cancel the daily podcast and we'll join you guys virtually instead for the live stream on the 15th. If that works on your end, let's lock it in, ? Okay, we're jumping here. Let's just make it happen, okay? That's the beauty of the internet. That is the beauty of 2025. You can literally be any place, anytime. Just send me a link, right? Any place, anytime, and we can join you virtually. In fact, today on their show, they had Andrew Colbert joining them virtually. So they have the tech capability to do this. We have tech capability to do this. Let's make this sincere and do this for people around the world who do not feel that you guys have been honest and forthcoming in terms of answers that you could obviously supply regarding Charlie Kirk's assassination. Well, if we needed any more evidence that nothing that they do is genuine and that this was an obvious planned PR move, here is what Blake tweeted out just now before we went live on the show. Yesterday, we made it clear that we would be scheduling a formal response to allegations and accusations that you have made. We have decided that that response will be delivered during a live stream, as he said, a live stream on December 15th. Thank you for your response, letting us know that you will not be joining the in-person conversation. We will be proceeding without you. Why are you proceeding without me? To have a conversation that is about me. Why am I getting 24 hours to respond? Why do you need me there in person if you are trying to be sincere?
Okay, Enzo, you're known for challenging people and telling them to come to your live so you can debate. These guys, Turning Point offered to debate Candace. She would later on say her husband said she couldn't go, so she wasn't going to show up because he had business people, very important people coming in from overseas. So do you feel like Candace was trying to jump out of the debate? Should she have debated? And they're still supposed to debate. How do you feel about them debating this?
She should show up in person. If she's about that life and has all these receipts, she should show up there in front of them and say it. And if she's afraid of them taking her out, why have they let her talk this long? I got more questions than anything. If you really had something on TPUSA, I'm pretty sure with the connections that TPUSA has from Charlie Kirk with the government, you would be gone. You wouldn't be able to speak one word about this or allege that anybody in TPUSA had anything to do with it. And this goes back to her not going to, for her being his best friend not even showing up to his memorial because she was afraid. I'm not buying any of this. And for me to sit here and agree with Nick Fuentes and say that he's not even buying the bullshit that fucking Candace is putting out there and how much he hates fucking Israel and how much he despises Trump right now. For him to not buy one of these stories says a lot. And supposedly he's going to drop some shit about Candace Owens if she doesn't show up at TPUSA and do that debate. So I'm looking forward to see the two extremes, the woke right and the far right, fighting it out.
Okay, so Candace upset because she doesn't feel like Erika deserves the position she got, but this is what she said.
Idea that, well, now the widow has spoken. We're not dealing with the widow. We want the CEO and the chairman of Turning Point USA to answer. Okay? If you can't compartmentalize, then I don't see how you're going to be able to lead this organization in the future, because Charlie worked. We knew who Charlie was because he was authentic. Okay. He didn't just go, well, I only make time for like big pocket donors. Okay. He was sitting college campuses. He was speaking to people, understanding people. He was changing his ideas and he was changing minds. And you are not changing my mind about the fact that something weird happened that day and that TPUSA is acting funny because you give it an impassioned plea and speak about Nehemiah on Fox News. Okay. None of it makes any sense.
Slim, was it right for Erika Kirk to become the next CEO? Because this isn't like a royalty business. Is it right that she got her position?
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with that. I mean, that's normal. I'm more concerned with Candace doing what she's doing, because at the end of the day, she's spitting the language to us, basically letting us know I'm afraid, but at the same time, I'm confident in what I'm saying. I know they want me, but I'm not going to make it easy for them to get me. And I'm not stupid enough to be the target where you can easily get me. Basically it. Now, the points that she was making, flawless. Nobody has a problem with live streaming. All of a sudden, that's an issue. This is how we do. This is what we've been doing. This is what she's known for. A lot of things have been exposed based on interviews, live streaming. Even in court, we do live streaming. So why is it an issue that she physically has to be there? That doesn't make sense to me.
I feel you. So Candace would later on go on to say that she could be more organic and pull this off if it was her.
The thing that is especially absurd about that is trying to almost like, I want to be clear that Turning Point USA is my family. The Charlie Kirk show is my family. You know, like she's just expanding the wings of people that we're not allowed to critique because they're in the family. If you call them fam, you can't critique them, right? Oh, I'm sorry. We actually are showing a clip of Rob McCoy defending a pedophile or trying to launder the reputation of, that's fam. That's the CK show fam. Oh, I'm sorry. We are actually pointing to the fact that we know for certain that this person or organization is a sexual deviant. That's fam. Don't you get me upset. I know that this is a now $150 million in the last 3-month organization and we employ tons of people, but you can't critique. You can't critique the fam. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to be very clear here. This is why there are many people who do not believe that women are equipped to lead companies, because what you are watching here is an unbelievably emotional response that is absent of any logic. Okay. If you really care about your team, answer the questions. Okay. Just demystify the entire event. Come out, sit down, answer the questions so people don't think Turning Point USA looks so suspicious. Don't try to mom the organization and say, well, mother's upset because people are coming after her kids and all of this multi-million-dollar subsidiaries. That's my children. Okay. The multi-million-dollar subsidiaries, Turning Point, like Turning Point Action, all that, those are my kids. So you can't critique them. Not a good idea. Okay. It may work in PR world. You guys, I know how it's an obvious PR campaign. It's never been more obvious of a psychological operation. I actually wish they would put me on payroll so I could help them make these things look more organic. than having every single person that has been telling us to stop asking questions all make the exact same video within 4 seconds of each other, being like, whoa, whoa, Erika Kirk shuts down the No, she didn't even respond to one of the conspiracies. She gave us emotion. She gave us emotion. She said, I'm a mother, I am a wife, and we never asked about whether she was mother or wife. We want to know if she is a CEO and a chairman. And a CEO and a chairman has to compartmentalize. A CEO and a chairman cannot respond to valid questions and critiques about finances, about shady actions that are being taken by people that require presidential pardons, people that are meaningfully asking why we are not getting a clear answer of what took place on September 10th. A CEO, okay, does not get to respond and say, that's my family.
Kimberly, you're the only female here. Can women be CEOs?
Not if they're mourning. Oh, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Yes, women can be CEOs. I mean, unfortunately, that is a negative, stereotype of women. But that's not what Candace is saying. Candace is saying this is why people think that. And I agree. Because if you look at, and I think you're going to show Erika's response to this, right? I haven't seen that yet. But with respect to her Fox Live and Candace's response to that, Candace, 1 point for Candace right here. We'll see what Erika said. But she's correct because Erika Kirk's response was the emotional plea. And they are profiting a lot off of Charlie Kirk's death. And they have publicized, they've made all of it public. So, I mean, there, like I said, just objectively speaking, don't come at me. She doesn't come off, well, I mean, you can come at me. She doesn't come off sincere. She doesn't come off as relatable or likable. She's coming off as opportunistic and shady. That's why people are asking questions. They're not helping themselves.
So here's Erika Kirk's response to Candace.
One of the most alarming things about Charlie's murder was the way that some people in this country reacted to it.
Yeah.
And not just online. This was an idea that you encountered a lot. And the idea was this. They kind of justified it. They basically said that because Charlie said or believed things that they believed were controversial or even hateful, that he somehow had it coming. What do you say to people who justified his death?
You're sick. He's a human being. You think he deserved that? Tell that to my 3-year-old daughter. Excuse me. You want to watch in high res the video of my husband being murdered and laugh and say he deserves it? There's something very sick in your soul, and I pray that God saves you. I pray, because that is what is so wrong. The internet in this world has dehumanized us.
That was a response to Candace. I'll play another video, but I think that shows, like, she's been emotional. Of course, she's a grieving widow. Kamal, do you feel like it's wrong that her emotions being used against her?
Do I feel that it's wrong that Erika Kirk's emotions is being used against her?
Yeah.
Yeah, using people's emotions against them is wrong and shit like that. I don't like Erika Kirk's response right there. I thought she was gonna get in her bag and be like, man, fuck them. I thought she was gonna be on yeah, I'm on my shit right now. It kind of felt, I gotta agree with Kim. This shit kind of feeling scripted from her. You feel me? It took a long time for them tears to come out too. I was like, come on now, get the tears out. Come on, man. I don't know. You feel me? And people in the chat making a good point. Why is the shit still called the Charlie Kirk Show? Why are y'all still using Bourbonnais every moment that y'all get? All I see is y'all getting $1 out of bruh. That's all I'm seeing.
Well, Erika Kirk responded directly to what Candace said as far as the text messages that she said Charlie Kirk got, saying that he was going to be deleted. So this is what she said.
I think Charlie knew to some degree and had made the conscious choice that I may be taken out early. Not saying he knew that day, but that he had any inkling that this might come his way and that he intentionally chose to move forward with faith in God.
It's interesting because I have unbelievable amounts of death threats. My kids have kidnapping threats, death threats. Our whole team has death threats. We knew that there was always going to be a threat, but Charlie and I we promised each other we would never live in fear. And he would say, if they're going to get me, they're going to get me. But he was not messaging people the day before saying, I'm going to be murdered. They're coming after me. Someone's going to kill me. He didn't say that. And I have his cell phone. Didn't say that. And so what I do know is that we believe in the power of prayer. And what I do know is that we believe in our sovereign God. And what I do know is that night before, we did what we usually did before tours. We said our prayer. And we asked the Lord to protect us. And we asked the Lord that his will be done. That's what we did.
Slim, why would Candace lie about these texts? Do you think Charlie Kirk was forewarned that something was going to happen to him?
I think Charlie felt something. I think, Candace is feeling whatever Charlie felt prior because of whatever she's on to. I don't think she's lying about anything. Like I said, she's distraught. She did a lot of work with Charlie. I wouldn't condone or believe in the affair and all that based on what Charlie stood for. So I blanked that out 100%. But the way that they were, the individual, the time that they spend with each other, the way that they were towards each other, what they built together, you know what I mean? There's a lot that I know she went through with that whole situation, as well as Erika Kirk. I don't think Erika was in the trenches like Candace was with Charlie. So there's a different relationship. There's a different vibe. And I believe that she feels her life is threatened if Charlie was taken out that way at the same time. So I think she's willing to expose it before it happens to her. That's all I really think this is. Like she knows something is going to happen. And she believes the people that she's fought for has turned their back on them. And she believes probably there's nothing else she can do but speak her truth. That's what I feel.
So I shockingly have a clip for what Kamal was saying, why people don't think that Erika Kirk and Charlie Kirk's relationship was real. They don't say anything about him being with Candace, but this is why the people don't think the relationship is real.
We've been married for.
How did you know it was time to get married? I mean,
almost 4 years in May. We've been married since 2021. Engaged 2020.
So it'll be 4 years.
4 years. We laugh about this because our dates are so messed up because of babies. Meaning, there's so many dates to remember.
I know. I get all the anniversaries.
Kids' birth dates. Yeah. All the things.
That one's easy. How long have you been married, and when did you know it was time to get married?
We've been married for.
How did you know it was time to get married? I mean,
almost 4 years in May. Meaning, there's so many dates to remember.
Enzo, how do you feel about these accusations of Erika Kirk? Infidelity, the relationship not being real. Do you feel like it's just internet trolls? How do you feel?
It's just internet trolls. That's all this is. I don't see anything in their relationship that would say otherwise. They all want to say that JD Kirk killed Charlie so he can get whatever. But that's the bullshit you'll hear online just because the way that she hugged him at the memorial. I mean, it's just another way to try to take down him. I think it's absolutely disgusting in every which way.
I feel you. Kamal, did you have a response? I know you said that she was cheating. Did you know that information about Erika Kirk?
Nah, you got it flipped, bro. I wasn't saying Erika Kirk was cheating. I was saying that Charlie Kirk had a special relationship with Candace Owens.
Right. My bad.
Yeah, quite the opposite. You feel me? I still believe it. You feel me? You could build a company with somebody and still fuck them.
I don't even know that. I think maybe Candace had some idea that those two would be together, and then it fell through, and that's why she's salty. That's the vibe that I get.
Yeah. I believe that too.
It's perfect. Like this is what I keep thinking about whenever I hear Candace. Of course, you wouldn't say any of this when he was alive.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, now you're going to say it because he can't defend himself.
But Candace got married too during their time together. So Candace got married first.
Yeah, but married people have affairs all the time with each other and shit. We can't denounce that. And you just
I just don't believe Charlie would do that, bro. I mean, just the type of person Charlie is. Like, forget Candace. I'm just saying Charlie wouldn't move like that. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of things that be happening that we be like, man,
I feel you.
You feel me? And this my thing, 85 Slim, is like they worked together for so long, and like you said, she was in the trenches with bruh. And this type of reaction that Candace Owens is having, it may not like it could be like what Enzo said. Like Candace Owens in her mind was like, I really want to be with Charlie Kirk.
But you know why I feel like it's almost impossible to me, and nothing is impossible, but to me, I feel this would be impossible because of what Charlie Kirk stood for. He always preached the word, and everybody around him knew that. So this would be the perfect moment to expose something that way, because somebody else would know about it, especially during this time. You understand? Something is recorded. Something. If that were the case. Oh, this dude talk about God all the time, but watch this. Boom, views. You understand? Like, this is why I just think it's impossible, because it would be the perfect time to release this information if that were the case.
We just gotta wait till that Netflix doc come out, because it's most definitely gonna come out, y'all.
For sure. So we go end it on a positive note. So here's the last video. These are Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens' nicest moments together.
You don't understand, like, the divinity of him tweeting that. Like,
I'm living in the 21st century. There's something mean to it. Weekend, baby, I'm about to have me some fun. Bounce, 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 bounce. Ladies like murder.
If you're watching right now, hit that subscribe button and press that notification bell to know when we go live. Slim has been on a new part in a minute. Thank you for coming. Give us your final thoughts.
Oh man, yeah, great to be back on the new party. I had to let know I got my shirt on. But yeah, man, another good show is just what y'all do. The information is vital. A lot of people need to hear this stuff that we be talking about. So I'm just grateful to be on the show. I'm grateful to be a part of it. I'm grateful for the chat, grateful for the fans, grateful for the staff. New party. Let's do it, Man Cave, every Monday and Wednesday, though. Peace.
Kamal, what's your final thoughts?
Appreciate y'all. This is more of a topic that I usually don't talk about, but I'm glad got into it. Got some new info. Man, it's a lot of infighting that I didn't even really know about, the dirty details within it. You feel me? If y'all want to follow the new party on my end, I got the link pinned to the top of the chat. Y'all go follow the new party and also hit the notification bell so you know when they go live. If y'all want to follow on my stuff, Kamal Johnson Network, hit that sub, hit that notification bell so you know when I go live too. Shout out to everybody on the panel too. 85 Slim, Enzo, Gray, Kim. Appreciate y'all. This was a pretty good convo. You know, also y'all go follow everybody on the panel. I know Kimberly has a TikTok. Enzo has a TikTok that be having lives. 85 Slim, you got anything? You got like a TikTok or some shit?
Yeah, 85 Slim.
All right, there it goes, y'all. Follow 85 Slim on TikTok. You feel me? At the end of the day, I still have my stance with Candace Owens with Charlie Kirk. I think if they didn't have an affair, I kind of believe what Enzo is saying that Candace Owens probably was secretly thinking of some shit. You know what I mean? Is she lying about everything? Nah, I think there's some truth in there, but certain things she's saying, it could be true, but when you throw it in there, it's just gonna make people kind of look at you like, huh? Why are you saying that? That shit weird as hell. So, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of infighting with the MAGA crowd right now, man, and it's just kind of eye opening. You feel me? And I will say they're gonna make a Netflix doc out of this. There's just too much info, too much stuff out there. It just lines up with making a Netflix doc. You feel me? And I will say I think personally that both sides are kind of grifting off of Charlie Kirk death. I hate to say it, but that's how I feel. That's what I'm seeing. I'll put it like this. Candace Owens, she might not be grifting as much, but you could do two things at once. You could chew gum and walk at the same time. Erika Kirk, I hate to say it, she seems like what Kim says. She seems scripted with a lot of shit that she's saying. And where the fuck is the pictures and videos of her and Charlie Kirk being all hugged up and happy and singing carols and shit like Candace Owens and Erika Kirk? Shit wild, y'all. But y'all have a good weekend, you feel me? And everybody else on the panel, have a great weekend, you feel me?
Enzo, I think something was happening with your mic, but the results are Team Candace Owens 74%, Team Erika Kirk 26%. Enzo, what's your final thoughts?
Where are you seeing 74? Look, I have it right here. Team Erika 80%, Candace 20.
Damn.
Oh, you're on the other one.
Oh, okay. Because I'm looking at the poll here. I was like, bro, why is he throwing fake poll numbers around?
No, it's two of them. You probably looking at the one that's for the phone. I'm looking at the one that's for the big screen. How many votes is on that one? This has 317 votes.
15.
Oh yeah, see that's why. Yeah,
we still win, Team Erika. My final thoughts are: this was a very good episode, very different episode. Shout out everybody on the new party. Love being here. Listen, people are going to believe what they want to believe at the end of the day with this. Yes, there is a lot of infighting within the Republican Party right now. Between you have, like I said before, you have the far right in Nick Fuentes, and you have the woke right in Candace Owens, who I don't even think is part of the right anymore. I think she went back to her little hole that she came out of for a couple of years from being a Democrat tabloid clock chaser. Anyway, Candace, I just want this whole court case to come out with Brigitte Macron, so Candace can eat her words entirely, how she's trying to get it dismissed right now before it goes to discovery. And when it goes to discovery, this assassination that they said that the French tried to take her out, all that's going to be made public. That supposedly she has the evidence of it. That's why she wants this to get to be swept under the rug and dismissed, because she has no receipts or anything. I've been watching this from the beginning. Every receipt that she's brought, she keeps saying every episode. Next episode, I'll give names. Next episode, I'll give names. I'm going to give these 5 people, and gave up what, like 3 people that she just named them with no valid proof behind anything. Like I said, people are going to believe what they want to believe, and that's perfectly fine. Yeah, everybody have a good weekend after that.
For sure. I think Kimberly must have had bad service. We do this every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Please come back and check with us. We'll keep giving you information as the story develops. I try to get as much information out there. If there was anything that I got wrong or we didn't talk about, please leave it in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Have a good night. Like we always say on the New Party.